How's your first camp going in the NFL so far?
It's going great. Just trying to stack these days, take it day by day, and get 1% better by the day.
What was this is a stupid question, just the jersey number change? What was that about, going from 94 58 back to 94?
Oh, it was nothing to it. It was just something me and Coach Ross talked about, and it was nothing major. Like, it was just, something that came to mind, and wanted to go back to 94, and we made it happen.
Can you explain what happened with the elbow, too? You missed today, and how you're coping with that?
Oh, just got a little fluid in there. Nothing really happened, just a little fluid.
How you been adjusting to the league?
Like I said, I just been, trying to be where my feet are and just, take it day by day and, continue to stack reps against guys like Trent, McKivitz, and, just continuously, try to get better by the day, rep by rep. So.
It's the first practice for you, but, did you kind of have, any kind of, starstruck moment or, bigger than I thought, or any kind of thing out of the ordinary that might have shocked you when you taking your first rep?
Oh, yeah, my first rep out there, I had to it wasn't really like a big thing to me. It was like I already been in this position, going up against, being able to go against guys like Trent, it was, of course we didn't have on pads or anything, but, man, just lining up in front of guys like him and taking my first rep against a guy like him was a big deal. And, it was kind of, shocking, but, I had to put my finger in the dirt and, get off the ball. So.
I'll follow up with this, and this will be my last one, but I'll let everyone else get in. But with the pads on today, how big of a difference was it for you, just kind of with the pads on, actually?
It's not too much a difference. I'm able to grapple more, be able to, do more things when pads on, but it's not really a big difference when it comes to using my tools and, things like that.
Have you had conversations with some of those vets that you're bringing up, like Trent, and what are those conversations like?
Yes, totally. After practice, I go pick Trent brain and, ask him what he's seen on, a certain rep and things like that, and he give me great feedback, so.
Both have been doing the same with you. It seemed like those first couple of weeks of practice.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the big takeaways that Nick tells you, and just your impressions of him as a mentor?
Yeah, he's a great mentor. He's been a great mentor so far, and it's just been the little things, the little keys, and just the little techniques and just the basics. Footwork, getting off the ball, keying the ball. It's just the little things that that he call out, and he come up to me and he. And I pick his brain and I ask him all the questions I can ask, because he's one of those, big time guys that's doing it at a very high level, and he getting to the quarterback, and I want to, figure out how he's getting to the quarterback. So after every rep, I ask him what he see, like, let me know what you see, and he'll, call something out, and I'll just, try to get better.
You've been having a lot of success in the one-on-ones, and looks like your spin move's pretty developed. Are there moves that you could do at Texas Tech that you don't feel comfortable doing yet at the pros, or how do you look at the different things that you can do and what works at this level?
Yes, sir. I honestly been working the same moves that I've used in college. Continuing to try to perfect those moves against great guys like McKivitz and Trent Williams. So I honestly haven't changed my tool bag. I honestly been working on the same moves to try to perfect it.
Asking you to do outside of being on the edge, it seems like they're cross-training you as well.
Yeah, and that's something I expected coming in here, to be moved around with my body type, So I just been being where my feet are, and wherever they put me, wherever they move me around, that I do it.
How are you adjusting to Chris Kasarik being your coach?
Oh, he's a great coach. I just been taking. All the way he coaches, I wouldn't want to be coached no other way than how Coach Kasarik coached, because he wants his guys to be perfect. He wants his guys to be, go all out and give it their all. So I just been honestly, just taking his coaching tips and just giving it my all and taking it out of there 1% better.
Is there anything in particular he's asked you to work on or focus on?
Honestly, just gaining ground on that first step. That's been a big key, honestly, getting off the ball and just gaining more ground on that first step, because I can close space quick. So, honestly, just gaining ground and closing on the tackle quicker.
A couple more.
First NFL game coming up for you this Thursday. What are you most excited for?
Honestly, like I said, I'm just being where my feet are and, continuing to try to stack these days. So when the game comes, it comes.
Yeah, we're on a line with a lot of really good players that are going through the same thing you're going through in different camps. Have you had a chance any time to talk to, Hunter or Bailey or any of those guys and kind of compare notes and how rookie camp is going for them compared to you?
Yeah, them my guys. So I've been, talking to them about how they camp been going. They've been on the road. It's honestly good to hear that they doing good. Bailey wrecking havoc over there and, getting to the quarterback and collapsing the pocket. So Hunter doing the same thing, and it's, good to hear those things from those guys.
What's been the biggest adjustment so far for you being here?
The biggest adjustment, honestly, probably been, just having to, move around and, move to different spots and do different things and, just holding in on that and, taking it by the day, getting 1% better at it. So.
Did you let it more just in one position when you were in college?
Yeah, I did. I did a little. I went back at backer, and they moved me around at times at Texas Tech. So it's honestly not nothing new.
All right, thanks, Romello.
Thank y'all.
How's camp going for you so far?
It's going great. Being out there with the guys, competing, learning the offense. It's been a great time.
How challenging was it to be on the sideline, missing out on some practices?
It was a lot, but kind of just keeping mental reps, staying mentally engaged so I know my job, and when my opportunity comes, I just capitalize off of it.
Defensive backs, as I'm sure you can attest, are very hands-on, gritty. How have you kind of handled that, just the close coverage and things like that?
Yeah, just using speed and physicality just to create separation at the top of the route and also during the whole route running,
Is that something that you feel like you came in with, just being able to use your hands and create separation and things like that?
Yeah, I've always been very confident in it. Obviously, it's a different level versus college, but kind of just keeping all those tools and just working on it and just becoming better and better every day.
Is that sort of an SEC, you've played in different conferences, is that something that the SEC had more than other conferences that you played in?
Yeah, I mean, there was competition all around. I wouldn't really say that the SEC had more, you know what I mean? It's kind of just better athletes, better players, you know what I mean? So it kind of just rose to the occasion.
De'Zhaun, is it easier for you to adapt to the NFL since you did play at Ole Miss and Oak State and you played in different systems?
Yeah, just kind of having the mindset to learn different things, be able to come in and listen, ask questions, take a lot of notes, just to have a better understanding as the offense.
What do you learn from a guy like Debo, like Mike Evans? What do you learn from those guys?
Route running, physicality, the way that they could manipulate routes and the corners in their routes, just getting open, creating separation, having strong hands at the catch point.
How's your rapport coming along with Brock?
Very good. He's a very talented guy. Just trying to be there for him. Asking questions. What can I do better, just to be the best receiver I can be.
What did you get out of going to Nashville with him and Jordan Watkins?
It was a fun trip, fun business trip, but also kind of just getting to know everybody better, playing golf with everybody, throwing a lot of routes. Just creating a tighter bond.
Extra credit.
Brock's trust. How do you think you're earning Brock's trust? Like, what's an example?
By getting open and catching the ball, just being a reliable source for him. That's kind of the main thing. That's all I can do on my part. Just get open, catch the ball, and when it comes to me, catch it and score.
You are reliable. How does that feel coming from the franchise quarterback that speaks so highly of you?
Feels good, but it always be better, so kind of just competing every day, not stopping at that point, just trying to be better and better.
It seems like Mike Evans is very generous with his knowledge, like with the defensive backs. They've talked about how they've learned from him. Is he also the same way in your room? For sure. Talking, giving coaching points, just kind of helping me. I can be better at this level or that level, just seeing things that I don't see. Is there anything in particular that he's spoken to you about over the last few days?
Just being physical at the catch point, being physical at the top, using my body, using my speed also.
Coaching points. Kyle Shanahan, whenever somebody news here, they get amazed by how Kyle can dissect things on film and stuff. What was that like in spring, and then how has that changed, I guess, in this training camp, because it's so unusual where he has to not be as involved as he's getting back to full health?
I mean, it's been great. I feel like the way that we do things at a high level, and all the assistants and the coaches kind of have a complete understanding of what we're doing. So it's been really, really good.
Because there's different wide receiver positions, they want you to know every spot. Do you try to master one first and then move on to the others? How does that work for somebody coming in playing wide receiver in the system?
I feel like for me, it's kind of easier knowing the whole picture versus just knowing one spot. You know, as soon as I know the whole picture, the whole concept, the whole plays, it's easier to learn different positions in that, you know, because I can understand the concepts and what we're actually doing.
Mac Jones was in here the other day and he was talking about how when he's throwing the ball to you, a lot of young players will slow down as the ball is approaching, but you still have that same acceleration going through the catch. Is that something that you have always done through college, or is it just building trust with your quarterbacks?
It's just been repping it, working on it, being confident, knowing that I can still run full speed and also track the ball in the air. You know, it's just really a confidence thing and also just a rep thing, so I'm comfortable with it.
College to the pros. I mean, obviously, you know, we're still in the practice stage, and you know, got a game coming up soon here. But what's been the easiest part of your transition, and what's been the most difficult part of your transition?
I wouldn't really say nothing's been easy. You know, just kind of adapting to how everything is up here. You know, just the tempo of everything. Nothing has been too hard for me, but I also feel like just the play speed level, you know, kind of just timing the snap, being able to jump off the ball full speed and get into my route. You know, it's definitely different from college and just clapping, you know, or just, you know, having like a silent count versus having an actual cadence.
You used to play in front of big crowds in the SEC, and the first game in the NFL is coming up this Thursday. What are you most excited for, and is it a different mindset going into it?
No, for me, ball is ball. You know, I'm going to go out there, do my job, do what I do. I'm excited to be out there and experience it all, you know, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I do and catching the ball.
Have you not had a welcome to the NFL moment yet? Has it just been standard?
Yeah, not yet. It's going to be coming soon, though, I'm pretty sure.
What is it like going up against De'Zhaun Lenore? Is he also generous with his knowledge and like after you go through a rep with him?
Yeah, he's a savvy guy. You know, he plays really, really well the way he can move and stay over top. You know, he's a very good player. So me going against him every day is just building competition and building better reps.
You and Chambliss had a lot of momentum going at the end of last year. How long does it take for you to build that rapport with Jones, with Purdy, with a new quarterback that you had a year ago with Trinidad?
Yeah, you can't really put a time limit on it. You know, it's really just reps and just trust. You know, just knowing each other, knowing what he wants and what I want. You know, and how we can make that both happen and get on the same page. So there's not really like a time limit with it. It's just reps and just being comfortable.
Stout was saying that he thought you used your hands very well in creating separation. Is that hands per se? Is that sort of arm length and kind of keeping a defensive back, you know, away from your body? I mean, what are you doing to sort of create that separation?
Yeah, just trying to get on an edge, burst him, you know, and then ultimately just push off with my body. You know, I'm a bigger body guy, so just keeping my body in front of him and in front of the ball, you know, using my long arms to reach out and catch the ball. So just having that kind of physicality at the top of the route, you know, creates a lot of separation and makes everything much easier.
Does that surprise you when you look at him at his size and then how he plays?
I mean, he plays like he's 6'5". I mean, he's you know, he's kind of small, but he plays unbelievable effort, very strong guy, very good cover skills also.
It's just kind of day by day, or have you set expectations for yourself for what you want out of your rookie year?
Yeah, for sure. It's just day by day, just trying to be the best person I can be today. And when tomorrow comes, trying to be the best person I can be tomorrow. You know, just kind of not looking too far ahead, but also not just looking at my feet, right? Kind of just envisioning everything, taking it day by day and just being the best I can be.
Is that something that you've always kind of, has always been your personality, or is that something that's once you got to the league, you're just kind of taking it slow, taking it day by day?
No, it's kind of always been my mindset, just kind of being in the moment, maximizing the moment, living up to the moment instead of kind of looking the future, you know, and just missing small things that I could have capitalized on in the moment.
Sometimes receivers like to look at receivers that are similar and study them a little bit. Is there a receiver, whether it be in college or here, that you like to watch and you say, hey, you know, that guy's got a little bit of what I got?
And a little bit. When I was in college, I watched a lot of Puka's tape, just because of what he did and his physicality as a route runner, catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. But I learned a lot from the guys mostly in my room. You know, Ricky, Mike, Debo, Christian Kirk. So kind of just learning off of them, D-Rob, they all do a lot of great things. So kind of just stealing things from them, trying it out myself, and seeing if it works or not.
Have you asked some of the guys on defense for like feedback? Some of the vets like Fred, Demo, like some feedback on how you've been doing against them?
Yeah, we talk a lot just in the sense of like, what were you seeing on this route? Like, did I sell this enough, or did you bite on this because of this? You know, just kind of getting feedback so I can learn as a player also of what I'm doing right or wrong. Thank you.